Yo, Jamie from Jamie's Detailing, and today we are continuing on with our wet dry vacuum series, our little mini series, I guess you guys could call it. But today I want to answer two super important questions when it comes to detailing, and that is number one, do we need an extractor to do a good job detailing, or do we need an extractor to get good results when we're detailing? And honestly, if I'm going to answer that question up front, the answer has been no. We don't need a DIY extractor, or we don't need an extractor period to do the job of detailing. With today's chemicals, with the steamers that are out today, I get amazing results every single time with a dry shampoo method, a steamer, and then if I need to extract any added chemicals or the water from the steamer, I just use my vacuum. So today I want to answer two big questions. Number one is, can we build an awesome DIY extractor kit for when we need it that is cheap, super effective, and better than the ones that you can buy online? And we'll compare it to one model specifically, and we'll talk about that when we get to that portion of the video. But the other question that I want to answer is an extractor better than dry shampooing and steaming? So at the end of this video, we're gonna do an A/B test. We're just gonna grab like a floor mat or something like that, and we're gonna do a quick A/B test and see if steaming is better than extracting, and when maybe we'll be able to answer some questions on when we would need to use a DIY extractor and when we won't need to use a DIY extractor, because honestly, all the way up until now, I've never used an extractor. And even when my clients call me saying, hey, I have a disaster in my vehicle, I'm always able to get awesome results with my steamer and my vacuum and doing a dry shampoo method. So today we're gonna answer those two questions, but first, can we build a better DIY extractor than the Rip Clean one that comes from Rip Clean? So let's go ahead and jump back here, check out all the parts that we need, all the little tools that we need to put together a DIY extractor, and then we're actually gonna test this thing out and see how it works. So let's go ahead and jump back here and see how it goes. So we're back here at the desk, and first I want to show you guys the Rip Clean kit that is honestly probably one of the better kits on the market, but I still think it's a little expensive for what you're getting. And let me explain this real quick. I have here the Rip Clean website up, and we're just going to talk about their better extractor hose kit, or their DIY extractor hose kit that you guys can get for $240 for the 50-foot water line and $225 for the 25-foot water line. So those are the prices right there, but let's actually check out the Rip Clean, the better extractor hose kit from Rip Clean. If we look at the extractor head itself, we're getting a relatively cheap or relatively inexpensive extractor head. And honestly, guys, I really would like to have the mighty extractor head, which is this one right here. Now, I got this one like a year ago for 123 bucks or 125 bucks. It's super, it's for what it is, guys. This is extremely well built. The biggest reason I like it is because of that part right there. That is some kind of plasticky, but it's more of like a soft plastic. I don't know if it's ABS plastic or what kind of plastic it is, but it's a softer plastic, and I feel really, really comfortable with this thing going back and forth on upholstery, maybe even accidentally bumping it into a plastic piece on the vehicle. This mighty extractor head is really what I wanted to get if I'm going to put together a DIY extractor head. I didn't want to cheap out when it came to the part that's actually going to be doing the cleaning and all of that for me. And it has probably one of the better trigger mechanisms out of all the little, especially it's way better than the Rip Clean extractor head, guys. This one has a nice trigger on it, a nice little valve mechanism that's built into the handle. So yeah, it's a super nice mechanism here. So this is really the extractor head that I wanted to get for my DIY extractor. And this was really the deciding factor between the price of the Rip Clean one and the fact that it didn't come with the nicest head on it. I think if Rip Clean actually came out with their own head that was more similar to a Mighty head with a nice plastic piece down here that allows for everything to get sucked up, kind of blocks any of the big material from being able to get sucked up, but at the same time it has like that real nice softer plastic on there for when you're moving quick in the car and you don't want to accidentally bump into something with that super hard all clear plastic one that comes with the Rip Clean device. Now, like I said, guys, this is the most expensive component when it comes to putting together your own DIY extractor, is what head you want to go with. But there are a ton of heads that you guys can go with that are literally like half the price of this. So this guy right here is 123 bucks. So that's really not that bad. Now, I actually took some notes on all the other pricing on this stuff, so we'll go over it in order. And some of this stuff I actually already put together, just because I don't want to waste time in this video. There's tons of videos on people putting this DIY extractor kit together, but I want to see how does it work. Now, the next thing that we can talk about with the Rip Clean Click Kit is the actual water hose that it comes with. The water hose that it comes with is literally just a polyurethane air hose. It is nothing different than the polyurethane air hoses that you pick up at Harbor Freight. I got mine on Amazon. It was only 25 bucks for a 50-foot hose. So right away, I'm already getting a 50-foot hose, and we're at like 150 bucks. I'll give you an actual price on all of this, like tallied up. I actually did the math correctly. The next thing that I had to purchase was some quick connects. Now, my Mighty extractor head already came with the male quick connect that we need. So all I had to do was find the female quick connect, which I'll put that in the link down below. But the female quick connect, it looks kind of similar to your pressure washer quick connect, but that is just gonna go ahead and attach to your Mighty extractor head like this. And to put it on your polyurethane air hose, all you need is, I believe this was a 17 millimeter for the actual quick connect itself, and the air hose portion right here, this is a 14 millimeter. So you're gonna need a 14 millimeter wrench and a 17 millimeter wrench, I believe. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe those are the two wrenches that you need, and that's gonna allow you to just tighten that guy up on there. And I did use a little thread tape just to ensure that we don't have any leaks or anything like that. Now, I did have to buy the quick connect separate with the Mighty extractor head, and they were only 16 bucks, so not super expensive, but they're kind of expensive for some quick connects. More expensive than your air hose quick connects, that's for sure. On the other end of your polyurethane hose, guys, you guys are gonna need to put on your garden hose adapter. Now, the garden hose adapter, I think it was 10 bucks for two of them. I'll put the numbers of all this stuff on the screen as we bring each product up, or each little thing that you need to buy up. But this one actually goes on a little weird, so I will let you guys know ahead of time that you guys are going to need a 10 millimeter hex key in order to screw this on. So you're going to use your 14 millimeter wrench on the quarter inch MPT fitting that's right here on the end of the polyurethane hose. Then you can, put some pipe tape on there, and then you can put your actual garden hose adapter on there, but you do need that hex tool to spin it on. So it doesn't have like threads or anything on the outside. You can see it's nice and smooth. I like that, and yeah, I haven't seen that before, but yeah, I'm also not a pipe fitter or anything like that, so yeah. Anyways, guys, I got those in a little 2-pack, and those were like 10 bucks. It comes with some extra red washers, which I didn't use. It has black washers already, or black yeah, black washers, rubber washers already installed. So I just use the black ones. Now I'm not gonna be buying an added hose. I've decided I'm just gonna carry the one hose in my vehicle for my vacuum. And when I do need to use this extractor, I'm just gonna take the extra minute or two that it takes to Velcro on this polyurethane blue hose that we have here, and I'm just gonna use that with my existing vacuum hose. So that's already gonna save me another 25 bucks, but I am gonna add that 25 bucks to the total of our kit just to be as fair as possible. Next thing that I got for this kit, guys, is I needed a coupler that would go from our vacuum hose to the actual Mighty Extractor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that together for you guys right now. This one I actually got for only $5 from my local vacuum store. Now, right next to my house, like maybe like 2 minutes away, like a minute away, is right outside my neighborhood. There's actually an older family-owned vacuum store that's been there ever since I can remember. That vacuum store has been there, and I've never been there before, but it's more like a professional vacuum store. They sell vacuums, they repair vacuums, and they work a lot with like more like commercial type businesses and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, I went over there and I was, just because I wanted to get this thing right away. I'm impatient like that. But I was like, yo, I just want to go check out the vacuum store, see what kind of stuff they have. Maybe they have some 20-foot hoses or something. I don't know. So I wanted to go over there and check out what they had, just meet the people, see what they got. And anyways, I went in there and they have a whole used section of stuff. So they have like all sorts of used couplers and all sorts of stuff. So I was able to score this one for literally $5. Now you can get it for 10 bucks on Amazon, but I got mine for $5 used at my local vacuum store, which I thought was pretty cool. And I just got to meet like a whole nother group of people. They let me put my business cards inside there. Super cool people. But anyways, I got my little coupler for only $5. So that was super nice. So along with that stuff that we've already mentioned, we do need a couple smaller items. One of those is I got a little pack of these Velcro. We'll pop it open now. I got a little pack of these Velcro straps. Hopefully these are long enough. They actually don't look that long. These might not be long enough, guys, but we're gonna test them out anyways and see if we can get them to work with our vacuum setup. These do look a little short. Like I probably should have got these are 8 inches. I probably should have got like 10-inch ones. These little Velcro strap things, which I haven't even checked out yet, and I think they're too short. These were like $6, $7, and it wasn't really that much more for the other one, for longer ones. So some Velcro little straps. Those are just to hold that polyurethane line to your air hose or to your vacuum hose. Tallying up everything that you guys need for this DIY extractor kit, and this is including the Mighty Extractor head for $123. So with the Mighty Extractor wand, we also have our quick disconnects for the extractor wand that we had to pay 16 bucks for. We have our hose to NPT fittings. We have a vacuum hose that I am going to include in the final price of this. $25 for the 1/4-inch 50-foot airline hose, the blue polyurethane hose. $7 for the Velcro fastening straps. $5 for the 1.5-inch coupler for our Mighty Extractor head, or Mighty Extractor wand. And all of that stuff together, guys, comes out to only $221 for our entire kit with the 50-foot water hose, or the 50-foot polyurethane air hose. So we're getting a much better kit, in my opinion, for about $20 less than the Rip Clean kit. So if I was you guys, I would rather go with putting my own kit together. Yes, it takes like 5 minutes to put together. Not really too significant in my opinion, but you can put your whole own kit together. You get better components or equally as good components, and yeah, I just think that's the better route to go versus buying one off eBay or buying one from Rip Clean or the other brands that are out there. Now, if Rip Clean wants to send me one for free, we can do a direct comparison versus probably the most premium one that you guys can build using the mighty extractor head and all this stuff versus the Rip Clean one. But I'm not expecting them to. It's probably at the end of the day gonna work pretty similar, and you're gonna get pretty similar results. But I do think that we're gonna like this head much better than the ones that are typically around 50 to 60 bucks on Amazon, which is like the one that comes on the Rip Clean one. Anyways, guys, so now that we got this thing all ready to go, all put together, I already had it put together before we started this video, but now that we have this thing all ready to go, let's actually try it out and see what works better, the dry shampoo method or if the extractor, DIY extractor works better, because I'm super curious now that we actually have this thing. Now I want to do a little A/B testing and see what works best. So let's see. Let's get some floor mats or something and let's do some testing. We are now ready for our A/B test, and it's actually the next day. I got a little busy, but it is time for us to do a quick little A/B test. So looking at both of these random carpets that I actually stole from the grandparents, but I grabbed these carpets out of my parents' car, my daughter's grandparents, and we are going to go ahead and clean both of these carpets. Now, obviously, looking at these carpets, the driver's side one is wrecked compared to the passenger one, and I don't want that to be a factor in this little A/B test. So I'm gonna try to do everything as similarly as possible, except for the steaming and the extracting. So let's go ahead and see how this is gonna work. It might be a little bit difficult to do like a A/B test here on one mat, and I don't want the difference in dirtiness to be a factor. So I'm gonna set this one to the side, and whatever method we think works better at the end, or maybe we'll just try the extractor on just this carpet, we'll do that. I already know how a steamer works. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and go through all the steps of actually cleaning this carpet the same way I normally would if this was a client's car or whatever else. So first things first, I'm just gonna grab my vacuum and get all the loose stuff off the top. Alright guys, now that we got the initial vacuum done on this floor mat, now we can actually go ahead and agitate this a little bit. And I'm just going to use my tornador for this. Alright guys, you guys can see we got our agitation done. Now, I'm just going to go over it one more time for the heck of it with my vacuum. All right, we just got our vacuuming done. Now we are ready to really get this thing started. So I want to treat this thing the exact same from side to side. So we're going to do our shampooing pretty much the same from side to side. So for today, which I literally just broke my bottle, gosh dang it. For the pre-spotter that we're going to be using for today, I'm just going to use an APC or an all-purpose cleaner. These floor mats are pretty wrecked, especially with all of this, the salt and everything that's on here still from the winter. So we're just gonna go ahead and spray down this carpet real quick. And I also kind of just want to see the foaming action when we use our extractor on this. So I'm actually going to get these carpets fairly soaked. Not too much though. And then I'm just going to grab a heavy duty enzyme cleaner to start dwelling on these edges. And I'm just going to pre-treat all of these edges that are real bad with the salt. All right, guys. I'm putting a generous amount of this enzyme cleaner on here, on these edges. Anywhere where I see salt. We have our chemicals sitting here. I used an HD enzyme remover from Superior Products, and we are also going to be using Zap It from Superior Products as just our general stain remover for today. All right, we got this carpet pretty well where I want it as far as the chemical that's on it. Yeah, we got, if anything, guys, we got plenty of chemical on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start agitating this entire mat real quick. And I know somebody's gonna kill me for not wearing PPE, but let's go. Now guys, if you're getting a ton of bubbles when you're shampooing, some people like that, some people really don't. I'm not a huge fan of bubbles. If I can get the same cleaning action without all the bubble agitation, then I will totally take it. And these chemicals don't really bubble up a lot. Pink Perfection can bubble up a lot, but we're using it pretty diluted at 10:1, and we're not using very much of it. We're just kind of using the Pink Perfection as a pre-spotter. Now, I did go one way with the drill brush, and that was, you know, tightening direction to the right. But now I'm drill brushing it in the opposite direction. So we got this pretty well done, so I'm gonna kind of eyeball this in half right down the middle here. Right about there, I'd say. And we're gonna use the extractor on this side, and we're gonna use a steamer on this side. Steamer has a little bit of a disadvantage because we got more salty edges over here. Over here we got a couple salty spots. So we'll see how the extractor works on both of those. But let's go ahead and grab our steamer, guys. Just gonna toss this on the ground so we're not having any more accidents. All right, and here is how I actually do my steaming. So I actually take a towel or a microfiber towel, and first things first, we wanna actually let all the water out of here. Now we can actually put our steam head on. And I am using something called a think tank bongo tie, a think tank cable tie. And these are actually cable ties that are typically for like your camera gear and stuff like that, but they work really, really good just to hold your rag on while you're doing your steamer. So we got our halfway point right about here, guys. So let's just see what it does, see if we get similar cleaning on both sides. Oh my God, guys, the Zap It smells so good. I'm not wearing PPE ever for this chemical. Terrible. But yeah, the Zap It does smell good, I'm not gonna lie. And steaming really only takes a second, guys. Honestly, I'm pretty much done with the actual carpet. I just need to do the edges. But I'm gonna keep going just for example's sake. You guys can see, not too bad, not too bad. Got our brush attachment on. Let's attack these salt stains. That's one down. That's 2 salt stains down, guys. And those were the real big ones. This one down here is really large itself, too. Now my next step when steaming, normally I'd suck out all the extra chemical. Finish this off with a microfiber. All right, and that, let's put a line on here. So that is our steam set. Not the best lines today, but y'all get the picture. Good enough, guys. So I opted to just use the same hose that I use for vacuuming, and I'm gonna be using that one for our extractor. So let's see how this is gonna work. I may end up needing to get a different little cuff or whatever for this guy. But now that we have that on how we need it, let's go ahead and, these straps just are barely long enough to work, which is good. Actually, they work pretty good. Since this is my first time using it like this, we're gonna do it proper. Adapter. And if you guys want to see how I actually hook this thing up so I can use my card at, you know, for my extractor, you guys can check that out. But yeah, now we got that beautiful, mighty mist. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be literally my first time using this extractor head. So yeah, let's check it out. Good suction. Alrighty, guys. I like the Extractor. Just first impressions, I'm loving the Extractor. But as far as the Extractor goes, I can tell you one thing right off the bat. It definitely didn't penetrate that salt as good as the steamer did. You guys can see the steamer, there's barely a little bit of crust on here on the bottom of the floor mat, but it took off everything on top real nice and easy. We didn't spend too much time on it or anything like that. I could have spent way more time on it if I wanted, but it definitely took off a majority of all of that salt. Now, I'm going to spend another minute or two with the Extractor and see what we can pull up as far as the salt goes, but there's still quite a bit of salt on here. However, the fabric part, they feel about the same cleanliness. Let's just grab ourselves a little towel. This side's actually wetter still. I mean, probably to be expected. This towel must be a little dirty. And I'm going to tell you guys that overall, I think the Extractor does a better overall job cleaning, but the steamer penetrates harder into those really bad areas. So I think the best is going to be, to do the best of both worlds. It's going to be the steam the whole entire mat, and then come back with your Extractor and get everything up with your Extractor. And I'm just going to go ahead and extract this entire thing one more time. So I'm just gonna get it nice and soaked here. We're just gonna go to town. Alright guys, this is actually going to be a good test. So what we're going to do next is, while we're checking out from side to side, we're going to see how much the Extractor pulls out of the extracted side and how much it pulls out of the steam side. Obviously the steam cleaner is not getting as deep of a clean, but I think it's doing a better overall job at really loosening up and breaking down all those particles on the floor mat. But the Extractor is obviously sucking everything out in a way as we're going. So I think the best is going to be to use both tools in order to get the job done to the best level. Now, obviously, you're going to have situations where you're totally going to be able to get away with just steaming, and there's going to be other situations where, maybe you just want to do a real quick extraction and call it a day. It doesn't have anything super crusty or nasty on it, so you don't need to steam it. And then there's going to be other situations where, they actually look really good, but the steamer is going to do a great job at refreshing them, getting out any old smells, stuff like that. So I think it's going to be the best of both worlds kind of situation, guys. Let's check out the steam side. Woo! We just got done with our floor mat, and I do have to say that I do love the extraction method, but I think that the best is going to be a combination of the steamer So our normal dry shampooing method, and then we're gonna follow that up at the end with our extractor. I think that is gonna be the play. That's how we're gonna get the best results if we're looking to do that. There's totally gonna be times when we're gonna be able to just use the steamer, and there's gonna be times when we're probably just gonna wanna go straight for the extractor. But I think if you really wanna get the ultimate clean, you're really gonna wanna have the steamer to do all that heavy lifting for you, and then you're gonna wanna have the extractor to really suck out all the rest of the dust, the dirt, all the rest of the stuff that's deep down in the fabric. So I think that's really gonna be the best play, guys. I would say that I have been missing out on this tool here. I think this is really gonna step up my details, especially those cars that the fabric's a little bit dirtier than what you're really trying to tackle with your steamer, and it's gonna save you a ton of time in the back end from using your vacuum like an extractor and not having the water spray feature. So I think this is definitely going to be a game changer when it comes to my detailing workflow and my detailing process. I really think that between the steamer and the extractor, tag teaming those two tools right there is really going to get you guys the ultimate clean when it comes to getting things clean. I was going to show you guys the other carpet, but honestly, I'm just going to drill brush it, steam it, and then extract it, and it's gonna look just like this one. So anyways, guys, that is today's video. If you guys are wondering all the different products I used, including the two products that we used today, Pink Perfection and Zap It for our carpets, and I used a little bit of this HD, or where is it? I used a little bit of our heavy duty enzyme cleaner. If you guys want to know more about those products, you can always check out jamiesdetailing.com/resources. On the resources page, I not only have some of our merchandise, but I also have links to all of the different products that we use in my business, all the products that I use professionally, and I have a couple links to some other stuff like a dilution ratio little booklet that has all the different products we use in there with the different dilution ratios, along with even some off-the-shelf or off-label uses or off-label dilution ratios for a couple different chemicals. So yeah, definitely check out that little booklet I made. Check out all the different tools and products that we use, and buy yourself some merch if you guys have the opportunity. But anyways, guys, I definitely appreciate you guys being here, supporting this super small channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Now we gotta get this other carpet clean. Fun stuff here. Let's try a slightly different method on this one. What happens if we just went straight to extracting? Just with Zap It. Just zap it. Drill brush. No steamer. We're gonna try it. No steamer. I hate the fling. I hate fling. I'm just not a fling fan. Straight to extracting, no steaming. Not bad. Zero steaming, nothing. Water was coming out pretty dang clear. Yeah. I would say that that's some pretty good results right there, guys. No steaming, no nothing. We still got some salt on the bottom here. Not visible from the top of the mat, but still. Just some things to note. But I'm gonna call that for the video, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have your own DIY extractor setup, if you guys like the Rip Clean one, or if you guys built your own, let me know that. And if you guys want to know any of the chemicals that we use in this video, we use Pink Perfection, Zap It, and our heavy duty enzyme cleaner. All of those products are on our resources page, jamiesdetailing.com/resources. You guys can not only buy our merch, but you guys can check out all the products, chemicals, and tools that we use. And you guys can download a little booklet that I made that has all the different dilution ratios along with the off-label dilution ratios for any of the chemicals that have some cool off-label use cases. But anyways, guys, that is all that I had for today. That is all that I had for today's video. If you guys want to connect with me, do so in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.